Hey there! If you're watching this, that means you're registered for the upcoming commercial boot camp. If you're not registered for that boot camp and you're watching this, it'd be nice if you could call our office and find out why we sent it to you, because so one of us is missing something. Listen, when we do this boot camp, it's actually a pretty incredible event where I take you into the world of commercial properties of all types and show you how I do them and how you can do them as well without using your money or credit. But several sessions during this event are going to be dedicated to deal structuring, just like we do over in the house business. Now, the problem with that is I can't structure deals unless you bring them. So here's what I'd like for you to do between now and the event, if you can do it. Go find any type of commercial project that interests you online, or even offline if you want to call the broker and get the information sent to you online. If you see a sign, for example, on a project, and collect all the information on it you can. So here's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for properties that are being retailed at retail price. I'm not looking for apartments that are in excellent condition and fully occupied. I'm not looking for land that's already been rezoned to its highest and best use, or self-storage facilities that don't have an issue. The reality is, if the property don't have an issue, or the seller don't have an issue, or some kind of a problem, we're not going to be interested in the property. Because our whole business is about taking properties with problems or people with problems and knowing how to fix them, raising the value of the property so that we can then exit out of it or refinance it or whatever it is that we're going to do based on the type of property. So let me just give you a list to look for. And I would start with loopnet.com. That's L-O-O-P net.com. There's a free section and there's a paid section. You've got plenty of places you can go for the free section, and there's all the information on the properties right there. Some of them are listed, some of them aren't. Probably most of them are, but just the same, the information I need is there. If there is income producing tenants in this property, regardless of what kind it is, I have to have the financial facts. What is the expenses? What are the income? And again, what is the problem with the property? Is it vacant? Does it have a large vacancy factor? Does it need repairs? What is it that attracts you to it? If it's a piece of land, I'm going to want to know how much land. I want to just print out the stuff that they have online and convince me that this land is worth looking at based on changing its use and creating a higher and better use. For example, farmland that's sitting near the path of progress is a great prospect to turn into a housing development, rezone and so forth, but I have to have the information about that land. So when I ask you what's around this land, what's near it, I need an answer, because that'll have a lot to do with what I think the feasibility of converting it is. So give me anything and everything you can think of along the way of financials. So if you bring me projects that have tenants in them and you don't tell me what the expenses are and what the income is, I wouldn't know what to do with it. But you can get that right on LoopNet. If there is income on the property, it's usually part of the package that's printed online with all the photos. If you like self-storage, find some self-storage units available. And by the way, I don't really care where they're at. Prefer you stay where you live, but LoopNet's nationwide, so any kind of project you find you think is worth bring it. So I'm not looking for projects that are retail price, and a good guideline to tell you if they're retail price or not is the cap rate. If they're publishing a cap rate, it's probably not a good prospect. Cap rate means the net income on the property. We're going to teach you. I'm going to teach you how to figure out what cap rate means and how we get at it. But in income producing properties, if they're publishing a cap rate below, say, 9%, they're trying to sell the thing at retail price pretty much. Some of those cap rates will go all the way down 4 and 5%. I'm not interested in those properties. Those are top maximum retail price. The lower the cap rate, the higher price they're going to sell the property for. However, if there's no cap rate on these things because there is no net income, then those will be great projects. There's no net income, there's a reason. So look for anything that's income producing that looks like it might have a problem, or any kind of land, large tracts, farmland, or even little commercial lots. Maybe you are looking at a lot that has a building on it that's maybe 1 or 2 story building, and beside it is a high rise. Well, if that thing is on the market, that would be a nice project. We would simply find out if we can get it zoned as a high rise, without touching it, and if we can, that lot is worth a lot more than you're going to pay for it before it's rezoned. So anyway, go to LoopNet. There's a whole bunch of websites. You pick a type of a property like self-storage, and there's websites just dedicated to self-storage, just dedicated to mobile home park, just dedicated to apartments. Just go to Google and search around and see what you can bring me. Bring me more projects the better, and don't worry about whether you think they're good deals or not. Most of them won't be, but it's just as important that you know why they're not as to why they are. So when I teach you how to quickly pre-screen these things, and by using the math, which you use in the world of commercial, you're going to learn how to determine the future value of it. There won't be any appraisal required simply by using the math. But of course, I have to have facts to work with. So bring me all you can and come prepared. And so we'll have a lot of deals to talk about when I see you. See you shortly.